Hi there. It's March 18th, and in our journey through Torah, in the book of Numbers, Bamidbar, in the desert, we've come to the end of chapter 26, and we're going on to the beginning of chapter 28. Now, at the end of chapter 26, we're reading that the Levites were counted separately from the rest of the tribes of Israel. And that's basically because the tribes of Israel were counted at this point just before, this is at the end of their journeyings around the wilderness, and it's just before they're going over into the promised land. And so this census that is taken, we learn, is taken with a view to identifying the amount of land that will go to each tribe according to its size. But of course the tribe of Levi is not going to inherit anything in the land because they are separated to be servants of God. So they are counted separately and they won't share in the inheritance of the land. Then in chapter 27, we read of the daughters of one man led by the chief daughter Zelophehad or Zelophehad. Zelophehad comes and she says, in this sharing out of the land, we've got a problem because our father has died. He doesn't have any sons. So if it's the right of primogeniture through the male line, then our father's inheritance will be lost. And she and her sisters appeal to the leaders of Israel, appeal to Moses, and they hear from God that actually when there's no sons, daughters may inherit, and so the women have a share, and also the property can go to the next of kin if there's no sons. Then at the end of chapter 27, God says to Moses, he reminds him that he's not going to see the promised land, or he's not going to go into the promised land. He's going to die before he gets there. But God allows him, he takes him up onto the mountain and allows him to see over the part of the land that is in front of them as they're going to go across. So it's a very poignant moment for Moses. And then Moses says, well, if I go, God, if I die, someone needs to take my place. So I want you to appoint someone and take some of my spirit, take some of the glory you put on me and put it on him. And so God at this point designates Yehoshua, the one who is one who's been at Moses' side and has been in the glory of God. He's going to be the one who leads the people into the promised land after Moses' death, and Moses lays hands on him at the end of chapter 27. The part of chapter 28 we're reading is concerning more offerings, particularly the daily offerings that were made in the tabernacle and later in the temple, of a lamb in the morning and a lamb in the evening, but also sacrifices that were made at the new moon. Each beginning of the lunar moon, the new moon, there's sacrifice made, and these sacrifices are laid out in this first part of Deuteronomy 28. God is in leadership of his people. God is the one who is king over his people, and it's his spirit that is put on Joshua, taken from Moses, so that enables Joshua to go forward. When we go with God, we always need to go in the power of his spirit, not in our own power, not in our own authority. It's in his power, it's by his spirit that we'll see the things done. Have a very good March the 18th.